Good evening folks, I'm back in Donegal, up here on our family holidays. And to be honest, the priority's been spending time with the family, it's the most important. But I couldn't resist, the light is a bit magical and crazy today, so I've come out a short way from this famous sea arch in Crohy Head just to photograph some of the coves around here. I got a new toy, the Canon R5, set up, probably the second time using it, very much getting used to it. And so far today I've dropped a Kase ND filter over the side that's gone, obliterated. But the shot I'm after here, I've got bits of purple heather in the foreground. I'm going to use that as my foreground, and as the sun is catching those waves turning, I'm making my exposure. It's a bit of a touristy picture, a calendar picture, but you know, it's nice to be out, and these kind of images are often the ones that sell. So I'm going to get a few more shots here before I go and try and down onto this storm beach. Has to be broken. Nope, still working, amazingly. Jesus Christ, how did that not break? Okay, so I made it down to the storm beach. I slipped and slid down the hillside onto this absolutely noisy, beautiful beach. I love the sound of the stones. Gorgeous light, very moody, very stormy light, ever changing. So I'm going to try and find a composition. Probably use the wide angle to get the sweep of the water rolling out to the sea, and hopefully get some good light behind me. Just need to be very careful I don't get trapped in here with the tide, so I've got to keep a particular eye on that. So in the interim, I'll find a composition and we'll see what works. Hopefully you can hear me above the roar of the stones and the water. Photographing is becoming an expensive trip. My Kase ND filter's broke. Love that sound. And the Sony, after that fall, isn't really working at the moment, so I need to fix that. What I've done is, I've come out to the shoreline, I've got the wide angle 16 to 35 on, and I'm trying different shutter speeds. And I'm trying different shutter speeds from 30 seconds to 2 seconds, just to blur the waves, capture a bit of the motion and the drama of the scene. Really, I want some light over in those hills, but the sun's kind of behind some clouds at the moment. I'll sit there for a while and see what happens. In the interim, hopefully, I get 1 or 2 shots. I think I need to spend some money on repairs, but...
Now this trip to the storm beach had started off as a disaster when my Sony took a spill, and the image I captured were, let's be polite and call them cliched, boring, and to be honest, not even the appearance of a mermaid would have saved them. The only thing they're fit for is the digital bin. However, after getting off the beach, the following evening I made the short spin up the hill to a location much photographed and a place I had tried to avoid.
Good evening folks. So if you're seeing this, it means I've managed to do a temporary job in repairing my Sony ZV1. A toothpick from a Swiss Army knife has managed to unwedge the lens. I'm down at the sea stack at Crohy Head, much photographed, probably one of the most photographed sea stacks in Ireland. But since I'm 4 or 5 minutes away, I simply had to come down and try and capture an image here. It's a place I actually haven't photographed before, but this evening there's a bank of light at the moment which is kind of lighting up the landscape here, but the clouds are really heavy on the horizon, so I'm not confident the light is going to stick around for too long. I've taken 1 or 2 bankers from higher up, using some of the purple heathers as a foreground and bracketing to keep some of the highlights in the sky. I'm going to go further on down onto the shore, and as that light drops I'm going to try a number of different exposures and see how I get on, and fingers crossed you actually get to see what I'm doing here. So I've come off the headland down to the rocky shoreline, and it's absolutely treacherous, really, really slippy. But I got a composition. It's got a nice, almost V shape leading out from the rocks out toward the sea stack there. And I've got some filters on to drag that shutter down. And I'm making 1 or 2 exposures, bracketing to make sure none of the highlights are blown out. I'm going to take 1 or 2 exposures here, vary the shutter speed, and I'll show you what that picture looks like in a moment.